Hello everybody, this is Al Levine, the Talking Machine with Pittsburgh Sportsline in the live studio performance that we do every Tuesday night, 7 o'clock to 8 o'clock. I'm breaking with my tradition of what I've been doing for 9 years. I have a special guest. You all know her from Bethel Park, State Representative Natalie Mihalik. And do you want to say hello?
Well, hello, and thank you for breaking tradition. I didn't know I was breaking your long stand 9 years.
9 years.
Record.
Yes, 675 shows. And I'm honored to have you on here.
Thank you.
Because of a Zoom meeting we had last week. You and Electra here, who's hiding, she's a mysterious woman. She didn't even show up on the Zoom call. It was all blacked out. And she's doing the same tonight. She will not appear until possibly later. If I behave myself, I've heard.
That's true.
So we normally talk sports. And I don't ask women their ages. I just ask about sports because we are a sports show and I have this tradition to maintain. And you were very forthcoming in what you said you didn't do in sports and all this other stuff, but you showed me a beautiful picture of your son. What's his name?
His name is Dresden.
Dresden was playing t-ball and he looked like a superstar at 4 years old. I'll just share my expert sports eye. And I heard some good stories about him, and we have a good mother here. Your other two children, tell us their names.
Petra and Nyla.
Thank you very much. Your husband.
Jeremy.
Do you want to say hi to anybody?
Hi, guys. Mommy will be home to tuck you in.
If they're watching live, we're on Comcast 7, only in Bethel Park. We're on Verizon 32 in Bethel Park, all the way out to Nemacolin, Cranberry, Wexford, and all points in between. So I appreciate it. Thanks for all the likes on Facebook. 6868, that's 6,868 likes. This old dog learned a few new tricks. Please like my page. I have a smartphone. I can check it. That's what I got to do. And the reason I'm breaking with tradition, and I'm honored to do so, is all of you have prayed for me, sent me good wishes about my kidney transplant. It's now a year and a week. My son gave me a great kidney. He's a great living donor. He's my hero. I just found out the last month or so that living donors are getting disrespected by the insurance agencies and insurers. By some of them are refusing to give them insurance, and they're also upcharging them on premiums. And sometimes they're cutting the amount of insurance and doubling, tripling the insurance. So I sold insurance. I know what it's like to be an honest insurance salesman. I know that's an oxymoron, but yes, I was. So Natalie and Electra agreed to help push this bill through. And by coincidence, it was being voted on in the state Senate today, from what I heard. So I don't know what the vote will be, but we got a lot of positive feedback. And again, that's why Natalie's on here. She's supporting the Living Donor Protection Act. It's Bill HB 924. So I did some homework.
Good job.
And I appreciate you, and I thank you so much for my son and everybody else that's a living donor. By the way, we need more living donors. Contact the National Kidney Foundation serving the Alleghenies. They're right on South Side. They have a great crew, great people. Holly got us connected here. She was a neighbor of Natalie, and they both made it here. So thank you again. What are your thoughts about this bill?
No, I think it's really important that we don't disincentivize potential donors out there. I think it's unacceptable that we would, have the potential to raise somebody's insurance premiums because they've gone ahead and donated life,
right,
essentially, to somebody that was in need. So that I think the Living Donor Act is really important. We unanimously passed it in the House, and we're waiting right now to see what the Senate does. I know a number of other states have taken it up.
Yes.
To prevent that disincentivization of those
Sure.
Donors, because it's so important that they remain on the list. So when there is a need, that they're able to give.
Right. Why should they be penalized?
Right.
Like you're saying, they're taking the incentive away from that. As a matter of fact, we need more living donors. 1 out of 3 Americans like myself did not know I had CKD, chronic kidney disease. If it weren't for a blood test, I would probably be dead. I would have never known. And I lost a friend 3 months before my kidney transplant. I found out a month after my transplant. One of my best friends that I worked 30-some years with at the Pittsburgh Press and Post-Gazette died of liver and kidney failure. Didn't know. Just come up and got him.
And I think it's so important what you do and what you've been trying to do in the community, and that's just to raise awareness. 1 in 3 Americans are affected by kidney disease, and there's a simple test you can take online.
Blood test.
A couple of questions, and then the blood test if you are.
It's a double threat there that helps. And my co-host Smoking Jim, as you know, doesn't do well at math, but that means over 100 million people are sick with chronic kidney disease. Mm-hmm. Like Natalie's saying there, and you can find out simply, go online, check it out, because you never know. I had I got stories, I got to share this. You get solicitors on the phone, right? Mm-hmm. And I'm not mean to them, I just tell them I'm not buying. So this guy was persistent, and I said, I just had a kidney transplant. I won't bore you with the details. And I told him it's just a blood test. He goes, Mr. Levine, I haven't gone to the doctor in a year. You just gave me an incentive to go get that blood test and to find out why I'm feeling like I am. I said, well, hey, this was a great call. He goes, it truly was, but I didn't sell you anything. I go, have a good day. But I mean, it's one step at a time. And your help means so much to all of us in this community. It truly does.
Well, thank you. And I appreciate that you're trying to make good of your situation and bring awareness to other people, because even if there's one person out there that you've affected, you've done a good job.
I'm a positive, optimistic person, and if I can spread that one person or 2 people more at a time, or 3. We had Caitlin with me at a fundraiser yesterday all day, and I was telling stories all day, and she enjoyed some of them, so I'll share that. But we can talk. What's on your agenda out here? With what you're doing in the community, anything you want to highlight that's coming up that I could bring out?
Some outreach events,
yes,
perhaps?
Yes.
So October 3rd, well, that's different.
Oh, go with yours first.
Okay.
That's why I asked the general, because I wanted to bring the specific when you mention it.
I was going to go in chronological order.
Go.
October 3rd, we have a paper shredding event. So if you're holding on to sensitive information and you want to get it shredded, it's free to the community. It'll be at the Upper St. Clair High School parking lot, October 3rd.
What time?
9 to 11 a.m.
Wow.
Cars do tend to line up early, so feel free to come a couple minutes early and get in line.
No, thanks for doing that.
You don't have to get out of the car or do anything. So if you're worried about coming into contact with other people, all you do is pop the trunk. You don't even have to talk to us if you don't want to. We'll do it all for you.
Wow.
Yeah.
What an idea.
Full service. The next thing we have a senior, what are we calling it? Senior to go? Senior Expo to go.
What is that?
Senior Expo to go. So last year we did a Senior Expo at the Bethel Park Community Center.
Yeah.
This year, with all of the restrictions, we didn't, think it was probably a good idea to proceed with
right.
it. But we had 30 or 40 vendors come in.
Really, that many?
We were actually looking to double it this year, but then when COVID hit and things.
I like your ambition.
You know what? People really liked the event. We gave flu shots out. We had so many, vendors from the community come in to just talk to seniors that day, and
and they need that, because a lot of them are out of touch with this.
These are the services that are available to you. This is what we can provide. So there was a lot of good information that was given, and some fun little tchotchkes, little hand sanitizers, and stress balls, and that sort of thing. So
like pens and stuff.
Instead of coming in to get it, we're stuffing the bags for you. So the week of October 19th, you can just come to the office, get your bag, and go.
In and out.
In and out. And then the big one, I think you have in front of you here.
I'll watch this. Here's what we'll do.
Take the camera off of us.
Yes.
October 30th, and this was my favorite event last year. It was
That's right before Halloween.
a Veterans Breakfast.
Okay.
Well, we didn't want to interfere with Veterans Day because
Right.
Veterans get inundated.
Well, thank you
with-
for your service, veteran.
Absolutely.
I appreciate that.
That's why the Navy logo is first on there.
I assumed
we
as
already got
much.
questioned about that. But this will be a little bit different because
Okay.
it's a to-go breakfast, and it's being provided by Ma and Pop's Country Kitchen here in Bethel Park.
Right.
The event itself will be in Peterswood Park in Peters Township. So you'll come in and you can
Pavilion 1 and 2.
do Pavilion 1 and 2. You can just
See, I'm a little
you
bit
can
schooled
drive
on.
right through if the weather cooperates and you want to sit and
We can hope.
have your breakfast.
We
that's
can
fine
hope.
too. But we'll also have a goodie bag for you there too with different veterans,
Wow.
programs.
Well, my
available.
son's a veteran of the Navy also, so I thank him for his service and you. I appreciate that.
Go Navy.
Yes, go Navy. When we watch the Army-Navy game, you know what he roots for.
Yes.
I have a brother-in-law that was in the Army, so they always call up at times.
Okay.
Army's looking good. And we got no Navy will be back.
Yes.
So I have
And
my
the pendulum swings.
yes, I have my priorities set there. Definitely. No, thanks for sharing those events.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it.
I
It's-
appreciate that.
And they're always free to the community. So
Remember, free. Like I've told friends that have bought a free meal for me, I've never ever had a bad free meal wherever I've gone. It's a tradition, like my show. And I want to thank you. Electra, did you get a picture of both of us up here in action? We'll try to do that. I'll just keep talking because we're going to bring my other co-host back on. I'll smile and I'll do my traditional point. We'll look at the camera, okay? How's that doing?
I'm gonna do one more.
I didn't know you got the first. We are smiling.
can you tell we're smiling?
We are. I was smiling. I can't help it. I'm just normally happy. But
Smile with the eyes these
Yes.
days, right?
we will do that. What we're going to do is say goodbye to Natalie and Electra, but hold on. I think Electra brought something out for me from your office.
She does have a gift for you.
And I told her she has to be on camera. She looks very nice. I appreciate that. If you want to present it to me, you can walk like right along the desk where Natalie is.
Natalie,
So-
do we think he deserves this? or-
So this is an official certificate from the Pennsylvania House of Representatives, and it is in recognition of your doctor
Yes.
naming you the urine champ of Pennsylvania. And yes, we just did that on live TV.
I had a
because
look at it.
he had to share with us his story. And in full disclosure, I was working at home that day of the Zoom call.
Yeah.
And I ran downstairs to, I don't know, refill my coffee or do something, and I had it on speaker. And my husband's always very curious what on earth I'm doing and why can I, be helping.
Thanks for sharing this. Yes.
And I'm downstairs and he hears the word urine, urine, urine like 19 times. And he's like, it's okay. Don't worry.
Here it is, folks. I am the official urine champ, and I set the record last year while they had a catheter into me. I won't describe the pain there, but my son's kidney worked so well. I'll share a glimpse of the story, which they've heard, like she said, 19 times. I actually thought it was 20, but you were close. But my nurse came in during a break, and I asked them, what's a normal person pee? And I'm older now, so I can talk about pee and poop, except when you're younger and you talk about the kids. So I asked him what a normal person pees. He said 50 to 200 milliliters. I said, Eric was his name. He goes, in 3.5 years, I haven't seen anybody pee as much as you. I said, please tell me how much I peed. He goes, Al, 5 times what a normal person pees. So me being a sports guy, you caught up on it. I said, am I the urine champ? Now it is official, the urine champ. Thank you. With that, we're going to get you out of here and keep you out of trouble with your husband. Like, what are you doing next?
And maybe the House of Representatives.
We will find out. We're going to go to a break right now, and we'll get this show moving forward.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you so much. Here.
The center penalty coming up. Look at the view. Oh my heavens. What a goal. What a goal.
All right, welcome back. I don't know what commercial Anthony put on, but I trust him and Caitlin. They're doing a great job. Now my co-hosts are here. We're going to go back with our tradition. Smoking Jim Frazier, what's on your mind?
Thanks, Al Levine, the talking machine. And if you want the green,
It's coming at you.
you got to see Levine. I feel like Edelman.
Yeah, there you
You
go.
look like him.
But hey, how can we follow that Al Levine, the talking machine? That was an awesome interview.
Thank you.
Which fundraiser did you do with Special K yesterday?
There was a four group fundraiser at Nemacolin Golf Course.
Really?
Yeah, I can't make it up. I was up from 8 o'clock. I got a ride with Caitlin and Anthony by Christine McIntosh, who's
Anthony went yet too?
yes, they
Wow.
were on camera. I was supposed to do interviews, but Handy Andy did all the interviews. I sold raffle tickets.
Anybody black there?
Uh,
No.
I don't think. We were looking for you. I said you were on your way. They go, isn't he always?
Well, I don't want to take up too much of Chip's time. I'll go real fast.
No, you talk a lot. Go ahead.
Hey, the Pittsburgh Sportsline Team of the Week have to go to Gateway. Their 55-14 win over Bethel Park. Now,
Oh,
listen,
don't talk about
I
that.
want to apologize.
Keep it short.
I want to apologize to Bethel Park. Listen, Gateway is on a, their mind is so, they are so mad right now. For the last 4 years, Gateway's been the best team in the state.
How many losses did they have?
Now that they're defending WPAL champions, now that Pine Ridgeland is scared to play 6A ball, they come down the Gateway's division and they rank them ahead of Gateway. Next week, Gateway gets Pine Ridgeland, and I can't wait. It'll be Gateway versus Pine Scareland.
Are they home or away?
Pardon me?
Are they home or away against
They're
Pine
playing,
Ridgeland?
of course, they got to go to South Fayette. They got to go to Pine Ridgeland. But
You
that's
explained
okay.
that last week how they travel.
Yeah, we'll play. We'll play in their backyard.
You used
We
to
don't
go to
care.
Altoona and
So
Johnstown.
who's the defending state champ?
Pardon me?
Who's the defending state champ?
I'm not sure.
No,
in
not
all the
Gateway.
divisions. I'm not sure in all the divisions. But hey,
Whoops.
moving on. Hey, everywhere I go, Special K and Anthony, people are asking, when you gonna bring it back? When you gonna bring it back? So I'll bring it back now. Smoking Jim's first and 10. My top 10 Pittsburgh Steelers receivers of all time. Number 10D, Mike Wallace. 10C, James Washington. 10B, Juju. Number 10, Santonio Holmes. You remember him.
No.
Here's one for you guys. Number 9B, Ray Matthews. Loved him. If you see film on him. How about 9A, Buddy Dow? How about number 8, Louis Lips? Number 7, Hines Ward. Number 6, Yancey Thigpen. Here go one, a blast out of the past. How about number 5, my favorite Steeler of all time, Roy Jefferson.
Yeah. One of my favorites growing up.
How about number 4? At one time, he was the only black on offense. How about number 4 is Antonio Brown. Number 3, John Stallworth. Number 2, Lynn Swann. And number 1, Chase Claypool is the greatest receiver of all time. Hey, listen, I got the formula. I have the formula. I found the winning formula. Get a talented black player who has all white friends. Chase Claypool, talented black, grew up in Canada, went to Notre Dame, all his friends are white, best receiver in Steeler history. How about Franco Harris? Black
He wasn't a
talent.
receiver. He wasn't a receiver.
No, I'm
Running
just
back,
saying a
Hall
winning
of Fame.
formula. Winning formula.
Oh.
Franco Harris, a talented black, all white friends, Hall of Fame. How about Larry Fitzgerald? Talented black, all white friends,
He wasn't a Steeler.
having a Hall of Fame career. I'm just saying in general. Last but not least, Russell Wilson. Talented black, all white friends, even talks white,
Hold it. How
Yes,
about he
he-
has a white head coach?
and having having a Hall of Fame career. I got the winning formula.
Let me bring this up to Tony from Carrick from Chick-fil-A. There he goes again with the race card. Tony, you heard it again last week. My friend from Chick-fil-A, Chip, he sent in, Smoking Jim said that black holders shouldn't be in the NFL. And Smoking Jim brought the race card out early, so he appreciates that. One more time, Tony.
Georgia Tech had beat Florida State, but they had 3 field goals blocked because they got a black holder. You know the brothers ain't keeping that finger there. And this week they had a punt block. Well, I mean, extra
point.
field goal block.
Jim, the only color I see is the change of the color of the jerseys. You see?
Would you have a black guy holding? That's like Charlie Brown. The brother ain't gonna. That's the one thing I would. 2 things I would never do in
Charlie
sports.
Brown wasn't a holder; it was Lucy.
2 things I would never do in sports. 1, be a holder for kicks. I'm not getting my finger kicked.
Oh,
And
no,
number
with those
2,
nails.
And number 2, I played every position in baseball, but I wouldn't play catcher. Didn't want to get hit with the bat. So that's what's on my mind.
Disclaimer, the baseball thing, I'm looking for one person that
Robbie.
he knew.
Robbie.
No, they need a last name. We'll go on to Chip Hayner. Thank you, Smoking Jim. Chip, welcome back from your hiatus.
From my hiatus.
Happy birthday, Chip.
Took a little trip up north into Patriot country, nonetheless.
Wow.
But
Those lobsters
hey,
look good.
I just have one random thought I'd like to throw out there. 1960 was a pretty good year.
Yes, sir.
Okay, that's what I
Yes,
thought.
sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Bill Mazeroski, right? Yeah.
But
You was born in time for
anyhow,
that.
what's on my mind? And I'm going to make this short and sweet because we're a little pinched for time. But, we haven't really, I bet you much hasn't been said about the Pittsburgh Pirates lately. And I am dressed out in my garb.
Yeah.
And the Pirates are stumbling to the finish line. And,
They've only lost 13 of 14.
well, their magic number is 3. And I believe that they're going to get that in the next 3 nights. And the magic number that they're looking for is 3 more losses, guarantees them the first pick in next year's draft. And, considering the way the season has gone, it's probably the best thing that could happen to the Pittsburgh Pirates.
I got to second that emotion.
This year, quite a number of players have underperformed. The pitching staff is only recently rounding into shape. The starting pitching is doing quite well. However, the bullpen pitches batting practice. And, you give them a 5 or a 6 run lead and it instantly evaporates. But, the Pirates this year, to be honest with you, did anybody really expect them to contend? And this is just further evidence of why it was so important to get rid of Neil Huntington and Clint Hurdle, because they basically left the cupboards bare for Charrington and Derek Shelton. The
minor leagues are.
And Huntington's big downfall was giving in to the pressure of people that kept on saying, "Oh, the Pirates never trade their prospects. They never trade their prospects. You got to trade your prospects for starting pitching if you want to contend." So finally, they knuckled under and they got rid of all our prospects. Now our prospects are now all-stars on other teams, and the pitchers that we traded for
are doing well.
have gone south, to say the least, or missed the season because of surgery,
Right.
or whatever. So they've got to rebuild from the ground up, get lots of young talent, and that's what's going to be happening. Don't expect any big free agent moves over the winter. And I think one of the things that really hurt the Pirates this year is the fact that there was no minor league baseball, so player development
Nobody could feed the system.
was absent. Let's just put it that way. But I have a lot of faith in the Pirates. I do remember the winter of the summer in the winter of 2010, not very long ago, when the Pirates won 56 games.
Yeah.
I think they were 56 and 106. And it was a pretty painful experience going down to the park, but I still went, and saw my quotient of games. And that winter, the Pirates got the first pick in the draft, which turned into being Garrett Cole. And Garrett Cole could have really been something for the Pirates. I do believe that it was his development was mishandled.
Yeah.
By the coaching staff, and now look what he's doing. Look what he
For
did
other
with the
teams.
Astros. Look what he's doing with the Yankees. So what the Pirates need to do is they need to do like they have done in the organizations like the Oakland A's and the Tampa Rays, who, by the way, each team is winning its division this year over the high-priced teams. The AFC West, you've got the Angels who have the highest paid player in baseball, and they've got Albert Pujols, who they're paying $25 or $30 million.
Right.
And
I
then
think the Rays have the lowest payroll. Is it them?
yeah, then the Rays, who have taken first place in the Eastern Division over the highly touted Yankees, and in their home run machine. So,
Yeah.
it can be done. You just have to manage your players right. You have to evaluate talent, get the most out of it, and and grow from within. So I believe that's what the recipe for the Pirates is and should be, and that's what's on my mind.
Thank you, Chip. Oh, Smoking Jim on a raised hand?
I got a book at home. It's called The Top 100 Excuses, and you used about 15 of them, brother. I thought for sure you was going to hit 20.
There is no excuses.
I
Jim,
see talent.
that's
I see
a fact.
talent all over the place with the Pirates, man.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, I see
Oh, well,
talent.
yeah, okay. Well, let me just spell out something. Gregory Polanco is batting
Talent.
150.
He's talented, though.
He's batting 150.
But is he talented?
Well, it don't matter how talented you are. What do you bring to the plate?
Smoking Jim.
a
Hair,
great-
bat, and ball.
Now, I got to give Chip credit because a great manager once said, "You are what the back of your baseball card says you are." So
There
I got to
you go.
give you that. But I see talent,
Well, it needs to
and
get
you
better.
see it too.
No, they, you know what? The Pirates do have some talent.
Yeah, they do.
But you know what? They got talent that didn't achieve what it's capable of doing this year.
Good point.
And that's a failure on their part.
Coaching, managing.
No, it's the performance of the players, Jim.
I'm
16.
glad you could have this
16
dispute again.
excuses now.
Because Smoking Jim, we still try to ask you when you were born, and you've got 100 excuses plus. Plus. I had to share that. I've been waiting for the right time. 9 years we've been on this show.
Hint, hint. 1960 was a good year.
Well, thank you, Chip Hayner. I'm going to go with what's on my mind, and I got to do my special promos. Hold it before I start. I'm honored.
The champ, the champ.
How many people do you know that's ever been called the urine champ?
You're the first.
I always heard you're in trouble, but never you're a champ.
Thank you to Natalie Mihalik and her assistant, Electra. What nice people.
Go fishing. You can write your name in the water.
Oh, definitely. Thanks to Olive Oil's Pizzeria for sponsoring our show. They're at Hillcrest Shopping Center, 412-831-1900. Caitlin, thanks for tying that in there. It looks perfect. I appreciate it.
She did that effortlessly.
Well, especially since I did it, have her question her talents by making her do two different things.
Oh man, you know that.
And now I'm coming to the third different variety here. Look at that shot.
So Caitlin's going to be our new Rookie of the Year.
Yes,
All
she's
right.
she's in the running. Smoking Jim has yet to announce it, so we'll wait till after the show.
No, he's got to get a plaque made.
But the Joey Fabus Childhood Cancer Foundation was started because Joey Fabus died at 9 years old with a dreaded brain cancer, DIPG. The family started this organization as run events. They couldn't do their 1 mile 5K superhero race in honor of Joey this year. It's their biggest fundraiser. You can donate money, and I ask you donate $1, $2, anything there to help out. They've raised over $100,000 in 6 years to try to find a cure for DIPG. They give it to the doctors. They don't give it to Smoking Jim. He has a gambling issue, but we'll cover that later. Next up, another nonprofit, Bethel Park Historical Society, 2600 South Park Road. That looks great again. Thank you. They're located there, 1905 Schoolhouse. They just got another grant through the state rep, Natalie Mahalik, $170,000 to try to do some more remodeling and upgrading the place. It's a great place. You have to go there when I get tea sometimes, Smoking Jim. We'll have to go there. They even have Wi-Fi. And the great tea shop is Reginald's Coffee. They roast fresh roasted coffee for you that you won't believe how good it is. People rave about it. I just like my green tea. It's loose leaf green tea. Dragonwell, very good. Next up, Dave likes to have a little fun. This should be easier for you, Caitlin. Look at that. She took 2 seconds. I want you for BPTV so you can be now a volunteer like Caitlin and Anthony. He clarified he's not an intern anymore. He's a volunteer. I don't know if Caitlin's an intern. Okay, she's an intern. So we have one of each. We appreciate you here. Look at the job they're doing. Tell them Uncle Al sent you. Call 412-831-3304. Tell Dave Cable you want to be a volunteer. Next up, another nonprofit, Bethel Park Community Foundation, bpcf.org. They have money for you, $100 to $5,000 for your group or organization doing great things in Bethel. Get an application when we have a meeting again. Bring it up. I'm a trustee on the board. If it sounds great, we'll get you some money just to help you out in our community. So thanks again. I want to promote this one more time. Vets Breakfast to Go, October 30th between 9 a.m. and 1 p.m. And they have breakfast for you. It's at, let's see, at the Peter Wood Park in Peters Township. It's easy to find, and it's right nearby here, so check it out. That's all I have. We're going to go to, right off the bat, I guess we could go to commercials. What's on your mind? And no, I mean, we finished what's on our mind. We're going to Fiction and Fact from Smokin' Jim's Almanac. Anthony, you got to work some magic so we can get that video little promo up with that.
Thanks, Al Levine, the talking machine. My main man, Chip Hayner, is back after being off for a month. Was it a month or more?
3 weeks.
3 weeks?
You were off the week he was here.
Oh, okay. I knew I didn't see my brother from another mother in a while.
Well, you wanted to wish him a birthday every week.
Yeah, I even brought in a card that was signed by a lot of people from Penn Hills, former football players, but it was 100 X's. They didn't know how to sign their name. I said, Chip don't want this.
I only need 60 of them.
Okay, it was 100.
Because that was a good year.
But hey, honored to have Special K in the house and my main man Anthony on the ones and twos. But I'll be real quick.
Hold it, before you go further. Tony, thanks for the reply. Where did he get that top 10 list from? A Cracker Jack box? Here he goes again, Smokin' Jim race card, LOL. I salute you, Tony. We'll be in another day this week just to get a Chick-fil-A.
Tony, it wasn't Cracker Jack. You had the crack part right.
But hey, you know, my fiction and facts is always all facts, even though it's hard to believe. Listen, I was at a football game one time. This was when Penn Hills was one of the most dominant teams in the state, if not the country. And this was back in the There Goes the Neighborhood era in Penn Hills, where black people would move into the neighborhood and the white people would move out. There go the neighborhood. So Penn Hills was
Tony, there he goes again. That's why he's watching the show. You can't stop.
But Penn Hills was starting to look like Westinghouse. But Penn Hills, they was heavily favored in the championship game, WPIL championship game against Butler.
Okay.
And it wasn't played at Pitt Stadium. It wasn't played at Three Rivers. For some reason, they had to play it at Valley High School.
Wow.
Valley High School Stadium on a Friday night. Butler is beating Penn Hills. I mean, they had their number. They're beating up on Penn Hills. Penn Hills is flat. I think the football team was out at partying the night before. All they figured they had to do was roll their helmet out there with all that talent they had. So a Penn Hills fan got in his truck and ran full speed into a telephone pole, knocked out all the electricity in the stadium. So they had to resume the game Saturday morning at 10 a.m.
Wow.
Penn Hills had an All-American running back that ended up playing for Penn State named Joe Coles. They ran him 40 times behind All-American Bill Fralick, and Penn Hills ended up winning. Thank goodness for the dedicated fan that did what he had to do. If it was at Three Rivers or Pitt Stadium, Butler would be the WPIL champs. But since it was at Valley, pick a telephone pole and it'll knock the lights out in New Kensington, brother. And that's the fiction and fact from Smoking Jim's Almanac.
Thank you very much,
Super
Smoking
fan.
Jim.
So
we
we're going to
missed
get
it.
to some
I
quick
couldn't
trivia
see.
for tonight because we got some Pirate talk, we got some Penguin talk, something that
Yeah.
ought to make Smoking Jim a little happy. Little birdie was whispering in my ear this morning. But, you know, the Pirates have been pretty much a laughing stock all year.
Yes.
Okay, so they're the worst team in baseball. Yes, I just said my beloved Pirates are the worst team in baseball.
Gotcha.
But do you know that the Pirates are the #1 team in baseball in a certain category?
No.
Oh, see, now I got Jim's interest.
Yeah.
The Pittsburgh Pirates have had players hit for the cycle more times than any other team in Major League Baseball.
No way.
And the Pirates have a player that hit for the cycle who is part of a duo, and this duo is the only duo to have done it in the history of Major League Baseball, 150, 60 years.
Yeah, yeah.
Darrell Ward hit for a cycle for the Pittsburgh Pirates
Wow.
in 2004. His father, Gary Ward, hit for the cycle in 1980. It's the only father-son combination to ever hit for the cycle in baseball history.
And explain the cycle to Smoking Jim again.
Related to Heinz Ward?
No.
This
Well,
thing.
see, it goes like this, Jim. When you hit for the cycle, that means you've got at least 4 hits in a game, a single, a double, a triple, and a home run.
Wow, that's a cycle.
That is a cycle.
That's why I wanted you to educate him, because a couple years ago you told this exact same story about a cycle.
Okay, yeah, because 4 years ago was the last time that the cycle was, and the only time
See, I
a
listen.
cycle was accomplished at PNC Park.
How am I doing, Chip?
John Jaso, he's lobbing me softballs. I just keep hitting them out. You know, John
did
Jaso
well.
on September 28th. I was
Yes.
there. 2016, John Jaso hit for the cycle.
Right. That's why I brought it up.
Darrell Ward was the previous
watch
one
baseball.
in 2004. Jason Kendall hit for a cycle in 2000. Gary Reedus in 1989. The Hitman, Mike Easler, in 1980. Do you
Yeah.
know who the man who took over right field after Roberto Clemente died? Do you know what his name was?
Oh, yeah.
Who's that?
Pittsburgh Pirates.
What?
Richie Zisk. Richie Zisk hit for the cycle
I used to like
in
him.
You
1974.
don't
Willie
even know who he
Stargell
is.
hit for the cycle in 1964.
Really?
And it goes on and on. We have a couple of players that have hit for 2 cycles as Pirates. Archie Vaughn did it twice. Wally Westlake, that's a household name. He did it twice. Fred Clark did it twice at the turn of the 20th century. Honus Wagner, of course, has hit for a cycle as
figured.
long as Pie Trainer. But just an interesting little fact, the only father-son combo to hit for the cycle, one of them did it as a Pirate.
Wow. Thanks for sharing that, Chip. I appreciate that type of stuff since I actually played baseball.
Yeah, so did I.
Smoking? Smoking?
If I only stay for my traditional 3 innings, would I be able to see a cycle?
Well, yeah, let me put it to you this way: if the team that was playing put up 45 points in the first, 45 runs in the first 3 innings, it's quite possible.
Okay.
But you know,
Not probable. Yes.
But the problem being, since you usually don't show up until the 3rd inning and you leave by the 7th, it's highly unlikely.
Great point, Chip. You remember that day. It'll live in infamy.
Oh yeah, it's etched into my memory.
The walk over and back was tremendous.
I
I
didn't
must
want
share
to get
that.
my car towed.
And I go, look, Smoking Jim, all the cars are still here. He goes, thanks, buddy. All right, we'll go to On Location next, Anthony, I hope. Thank you again, Anthony and Caitlin. We appreciate it. On Location, Smoking Jim, I got that call from Master Zhang of Taekwondo in Wexford. He has a North Carolina team coming up October 17th. Mark your calendar. 2 o'clock Saturday morning. We'll be in Wexford at Zhang Taekwondo. We got a team coming up to compete 4 matches against Pittsburgh. So they will be doing that. They're going to have Marine bring a patriotic truck. I saw a picture of it. I don't know if I can bring it up on TV here. I don't know. Maybe we could try. We'll see what Caitlin can do for me. Let me see if I can bring this up. I don't know. Well, wait. Let me get it again. There. That might help. Wait till you see this truck.
Wow. Oh, my goodness.
It's a Marine truck. Look at that, what she pulled up.
Are they
Semper
bringing that?
Fi.
They're bringing it that day before the show. He's going to have somebody sing the national anthem with the truck. The guy's a Marine, lifetime Marine.
Wow.
Semper Fidelis. So, right on the truck. Caitlin, you're the best. You won Rookie of the Year today. The new Rookie of the Year. And he told me they're even going to have people come in and do a dragon dance. He's going to have some of his students do some different things that they train with. And wait till you see all the trophies he has there. It's just great. We're going to practice social distancing on all the interviews. When they're fighting, I told them they don't have to wear a mask because in football, the essential sport, they aren't wearing masks when they play. So we're going to let them compete. It'll be 5 3-minute rounds. And they're going to compete with Taekwondo. So we'll see some great fights. He said it's sort of like this Cobra Kai that they're playing, like Karate Kid that they're playing that's popular. You young folks, maybe Anthony and Caitlin, have heard of Cobra Kai. Yeah. And it's very popular. He goes, just tell them it's like the Karate Kid. And it's like how Chuck Norris used to fight back in the day when he was into that.
Yeah.
So it looks like an exciting night there, and he just called me to confirm October 17th. So we'll be out there in Wexford, and we're looking forward to it. Now we're down to the final 13, so Anthony, you can put up a Steeler little promo for us or whatever you got to do, but we'll come back with Steeler talk. Steeler talk. Well, it was great. I missed most of the game because I was away doing something, and I come back, see the last quarter, and I go, this looks like SOS. The last few years, same old Steelers, the defense, ready to give the game away. And my son goes, what do you think? I said, they had a better defense now. They'll hold them off. And we won the game. Now I'll open it up. 10 minutes to go. Give me your opinions, guys. We'll start with Smoking Jim since he's the Steeler scout, NFL scout, and he's an honest man.
Well, what I've witnessed the last 2 games is the Steelers last week played the Giants, who got more losses in 3 years than any other team in the NFL, 36. And this year they'll have more losses than any team in 4 games. Denver, once their starting quarterback got knocked out of the game, they had no chance of winning. But what I've noticed is that the Pittsburgh Steelers, who had a great defense last year, they was starting to compare them to the 76 defense,
right,
which that comparison is out the window now. They can't stop the pass.
Yeah.
And if you can't stop the pass in today's NFL, you're in trouble. So the secondary was pretty good last year. It looks like a lot of them guys got old overnight. They can't seem to stop the pass. But the greatest linebacker in Steeler history, T.J. Watt, is playing his butt off.
What, he got another sack?
And he got 2.5 for the year. And Bud Dupree is all over the field. They should have gave the Cam Hayward money. Cam, who snuck out of Monroeville as a teenager to move to Atlanta, right, could have been a Gateway Gator. I'll never forgive him for that.
Yeah.
But they should have gave Cam money to Bud Dupree.
Well, the one thing I'll tell you with Bud Dupree, first 5 years, straight past the quarterback, straight past the running back, always a step or two behind running backs, getting them 10 yards downfield. Something happened to him. He can play football now.
Yes.
I'll tell you what happened to him. Somebody jingled that pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. He wanted to get paid. But
he started hanging with all white friends.
What I noticed from the first 2 weeks of the NFL season, and I've seen this across the board,
yeah,
is some of the worst football I've ever seen in the NFL. And there was no preseason games played.
Right.
And the rust shows.
How about the injuries?
I'm going to get to that.
Okay.
But, what I saw out of the Steelers' defense is, the game on Sunday, say what you will about the Steelers' defense's shortcomings, the Steelers' defense won that game.
Yeah.
Okay? The offense is, and it's interesting, though, because the Steelers have gone from being an offensive juggernaut with people like, selfish players like Antonio Brown, Lev Bell, etc., to a team that's offense is going to be good enough to put up the points they need to score, and their defense is only going to get better.
Yeah.
Okay, because they've been making a lot of mistakes, and it's pretty obvious that they have been. And these are mistakes that can only be made at game speed. And if you haven't been at game speed, look, I looked at last week as the second preseason game.
Right. Great.
You know what I mean?
Great point.
So we're going to see the defense get better. 7 sacks last week.
Yeah.
The Steelers' defense is bringing it.
Yeah.
And the more that they keep bringing it, the more quarterbacks are going to get happy feet. You're going to see the turnovers come. Next up is look at the amount of injuries over the last 2 weeks and how many star players had season-ending injuries. Saquon Barkley, which could ultimately affect his earning ability moving forward.
Yeah.
You got ACL surgery. Not everybody comes back 100% from that. And he's on a rookie contract.
Yeah.
And he hasn't gotten paid yet.
No.
And the Bosa brother from San Francisco.
Yeah, what a beast he is.
Tore his knee up,
Yeah.
So these are things that I think, the lack of a preseason, because you've got to condition your body to play at game speed and to hit and to be hit. And that just doesn't, it's not like turning on a light switch.
It's football shape. Like Smoking Jim knows, when you're in football shape, you're at the peak of your game. When you're getting into that shape, that's a work in progress.
That is a work in progress. So there's going to be more injuries, but I do see, the 2 games that the Steelers won, 2-0 is way better than 0-2.
Yes.
In years past, these are games that the Steelers would more than likely have lost.
Yeah.
Okay?
SOS, baby.
So,
SOS.
they're doing better. Another thing that I like to see, it looks like Ben Roethlisberger learned his lesson, because if you listen to his comments after the game,
Good point.
he blamed himself
Yeah.
for all the mistakes that everybody else made.
Yeah.
And what was he doing a couple years ago? He's pointing a finger at Antonio, pointing a finger at Lev, alienating all of his teammates. And you know what?
Yeah.
Now he's just happy enough. And if this continues, I think the Steelers' offense will be good enough to score enough points to win.
Yeah.
And defense always has and always will win
Right.
championships.
Well, there's no doubt he's a changed man. To get an operation on 3 tendons that are fixed and to feel better than you felt in 16 years, I can't believe he was
Those
that
3
injured.
tendons were torn off the bone.
Right, which is shocking that they could repair it. That means you only have 2 tendons that are good, Smoking Jim. I know a little bit about that. There's 5 tendons, and he had 2 left. So he knows he only has a short period of time. So that's why I think his attitude has changed.
Because you know what? His success in the offense is more dependent on everybody else than it is on himself. You
Right.
know? Now, I can tell you this. If we would have had that duck lay an egg like he did last year,
I don't remember
we'd be
his
0-2.
I don't remember that
And he
name.
belongs on the practice squad, and that's where he'll stay.
We all love Duck.
No. You can have a drink with him even though you don't drink. You said that's the
Just
type of guy he
remember,
is.
You say duck season, I say wabbit season.
Yeah. Killed a wabbit.
But you guys know a little bit about the medical field.
Yeah.
What did they shoot James Conner's ankle up with for him to play? I was
Novocaine.
surprised.
Novocaine.
There was
He
some
didn't
good
feel it.
stuff.
Lidocaine.
There was some good stuff.
Probably
Yeah.
lidocaine.
Yeah.
Wow.
But, and the Steelers,
He took the shot.
what they're showing this year is they don't have to have the most productive running offense in the NFL. They just need a rushing offense that will make other teams
don't
respect the
fumble
run,
the
which
ball.
opens up the passing routes.
Don't fumble the ball like Benny.
Chase Claypool is going to be a great deep threat.
Greatest receiver is still in history.
Deontay
Johnson.
Johnson.
Don't throw to him on 3rd down, though.
Well, I'll tell you what, that catch he made in the end zone, that ball was behind him, and that was a hell of a catch.
But
You gotta give him credit.
He'll drop some on 3rd and 4th down. He's a first and second down guy. If he
No,
drops
you
the
know,
ball.
like I
that
said,
punt return was outstanding.
Yeah.
and like I said, I think a lot of the mistakes that you're seeing being made, especially all the penalties that were called on us
Yeah.
last week, are a product of
Not playing.
not having any game speed. You know, that's the lack of a preseason, I think, is showing. I mean, look at Brady looked like on the first week of the season. He looked awful.
He looked
You know,
old.
he looked better last week. And now who looked old last night
Yeah.
was Drew Brees.
Yeah, he did.
You know,
How much was that stadium in
$2 billion.
$2 billion? Because the other one in LA is $5 billion.
Yeah, but do you know that the Raiders sold $581 million worth of season tickets this year?
Yeah, I told
and
you
they
on the
played in
show.
front of an empty stadium.
No, I told you guys that earlier before the season
They
started.
ain't hurting.
But I have a little surprise.
That's a half a billion, Smoking Jim, in case you can't put that in the math.
I have-
Half a billion.
I have a surprise for Jim.
Go ahead.
The curse may be over. You know, he doesn't know which curse I'm talking about.
Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
There's rumors have it
Come on back.
that Marc-Andre Fleury is in negotiations to buy out his contract with the Las Vegas Knights, and that he could potentially end up back here in Pittsburgh
Yes.
on a cap-friendly contract, which would mean Matt Murray
It's gone.
is going to be gone. But that's
Why? You
that's
still
just
need two? You still
Jari.
need- Oh, Jari.
Jari's
pretty
just
good?
as good, and he's
Okay.
younger, and he's
Okay.
pay him
I didn't
less.
know about it. Good point.
Yeah.
You know,
Good point.
because
We don't follow hockey that much, Smoking Jim. We know that. It's not essential.
Speaking of hockey, the hockey's into the Stanley Cup Finals. Dallas Stars, Tampa Bay Lightning tied up 1-1. Game 3 tomorrow.
Right.
And I don't know if any of you watch it. I know Jim's in front of the TV every minute watching the replay. There's some great hockey being
I've watched
played.
some of it, yeah.
really takes some getting used to. No crowd,
Right.
but really, really
They're
good.
playing hard.
I like
yeah.
when they trap.
Some other sports we want to touch base on. The NBA's down to the 4 finalists.
Yeah.
Lakers taking on Denver tonight. They're up 2-0. Could potentially end up 3-0 in the bubble in Orlando. And let us not forget.
You sound like a betting man. You know a lot here.
I'd bet the house on the Lakers, buddy.
And last
Bet the house.
weekend, Bryson DeChambeau
Yes.
won the U.S. Open at Winged Foot. He was the only player to play under par. And by the way, Tiger Woods didn't make it. Didn't make the cut again.
Too many bogeys.
Yeah, I don't know what it was, but it. It was a pretty interesting golf course to watch them play in September. Deep rough, and this
Right.
Bryson DeChambeau, he looks like a linebacker.
How
And
about how
man,
far he's
can
hitting the
he
ball?
hit the ball?
360, 370.
Really?
Yeah, he hits the
Yeah.
ball further than Tiger ever did.
Yeah.
So, I think that's everything.
Yeah, we got it covered.
Throw it back to Al.
We're getting ready to wind it down. Thanks for putting up with our special edition with Natalie Mihalik, state rep here in the local area. She gave you events that are coming up. Thanks to Smoking Jim for coming in and giving us some. Well, you know what he did, Tony, if you're still watching. Chip Hayner, always a pleasure. Thanks for covering all the sports that we missed. I appreciate that. Thanks to Anthony and Caitlin, since we still got a few seconds left. This is Al Levine, the Talking Machine, telling you to be safe, stay healthy, and stay Joey strong.